Gayatri is a very powerful mantra. I heard from some pundits telling that if the ladies start chanting Gayatri, so many times it produces a lot of energy inside, and their body may not be able to take up. And for householders, ladies, no, it may not be that good. So I would like to know the truth.
It's nothing like that. In any case, ladies are not going to sit down and chant 1000 Gayatris every day. So you chant a few Gayatri, and the energy build-up is all an excuse adopted by men to prevent you from chanting. Okay. Please don't believe all that. The Shaktas, who are the worshippers of Shakti, they believe that a female is as important as a male. There is no distinction. The Shaktas are called Shaktas because they believe that the divine form is most manifest in a woman. So how can a woman be considered not sacred and not able to... These are all people who are preventing you from chanting, I am saying. So, but don't chant and then if you get gas trouble, say it is because of this. Something else I was going to say regarding this chanting. Adi Shankaracharya, who came from such orthodox stock and who wrote after all this his Vedic and Upanishadic commentaries, wrote this beautiful hymn called the Saundari Lahari, which is a complete tantric text, where he extols the Devi in no uncertain terms. If he can do it, all other orthodoxes are somewhere 2 degrees compared to him, if he is considered 100 degrees. So I don't think you should give much weight to that. Also, if you become powerful, what is the use of priests?
Sir, the Saundari Lahari which you have sung in your CD is the same Adi Shankaracharya has sung?
I haven't sung the whole Saundari Lahari, no. Never. Saundari Lahari means the ecstasy of beauty, Saundari Lahari. And it's 100 slokas are there in Saundari. Some people say only 40 are original and it doesn't matter. Basically it describes the Sri Vidya in some different forms and extols the beauty of the Devta called, you may call it Devi or Bhavani or Bhairavi or Gayatri Devi or whatever you want to call it. So this is the text and it's a beautiful chant. In some parts of the Saundari Lahari, the Sri Vidya Bijaksharas we expressed are hidden in some form. If you know how to look for them, which needs a guide. Wait 1 minute. Yes.
Sir, supposing I wish to chant the Gayatri in the morning.
First you have to ask your husband. Okay, tell me, sorry.
I get to see the sky changing many colors and I feel this is the morning Sandhya that sir is talking about.
Right.
And I feel like chanting it at that time, but I'm usually having a lot of work at that time.
Right.
So is it okay for women to chant it while they are doing their work?
No. Well, you can, but it is good to
sit down and
chant.
is it that all other chantings also should be done sitting down in one place?
As far as possible. Because then it will become common, it will lose its, simply of doing something, it goes on, there are other mantras you can chant. I think Gayatri requires complete attention when you chant. And if you see the sky, beautiful colors, open your eyes and chant. There is no need to close your eyes. Because ultimately what is inside is also what is outside. There is no distinction. Only thing is it has to be touched inside, then only you will see that there is no... Mudra. The best way to chant the Gayatri, if you are doing it without Sandhya Vandana and all these details, is to put your right hand in your heart. Think of a beautiful rising sun in your heart and chant. There are also, Gayatri has also been deified as a female devta, in which case think of her sitting in your heart and chant. So when women chant the Gayatri, I think they should stress more on the feminine aspect of Gayatri. So that if somebody says, why are you chanting? You can say, you can chant thinking Gayatri as feminine. I am feminine, why can't I chant?
So any roop of Kali, Durga, any, I mean, we can think of Devi and any roop of like Kali or Durga.
See, Gayatri is generally associated with Samaya Marga, which means peace and tranquil, Shanta Devtas. Not with Devtas like Bhadrakali. Those are a different section altogether. It generally comes in what is called in Tantra as a Kaulachara, Vama Marga, which is a tough subject. It's a difficult thing. We won't discuss that because it's like walking on the edge of a razor. Where the Upanishad says, Shurasya Dhara. You might cut your legs, you may fall this way, that way. So, you see, since you have taken up the subject, the Dasha Mahavidyas are considered to be different aspects of Shakti. They are called Dasha Mahavidyas. Now, of them, the most dangerous aspect is Bhadrakali. There are others also like Tara and Smashan, but Bhadrakali. Now, Bhadrakali is the depiction of the deity which is purely for the spirit. People think that it is for physical. It's because she is a destroyer. If you really are serious about Bhadrakali and catch on to her feet, everything around you will crumble and fall and be destroyed. It's only that. If you are ready for it, then you can do it. Otherwise, it's better not to touch that aspect because you see, the description of Bhadrakali itself in the Tantras, Kularnava Tantra, Karala Vadanam, Ghoram, Muktakeshim, Chaturbhujam, Kalikam, Dakshinam, Divyam, Mundamala Vibhushitam. So she has a garland of human heads according to the description. Until and unless you are ready to add your head also to it, there is no need to touch it. Leave it alone, is what I suggest. Because it is the breaking of your ego on the feet of that deity, which is impossible for most people. So leave alone what you cannot. Start with Shanta Devtas, Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, Gayatri, enough. Because we are not ready for it. Because I always tell people, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa stood before the mother and said, take everything away, I want only you. People imitate that. And the moment the rug is jerked from under your feet, oh no, bring back everything to me. Be careful what you say. Don't overreach your limits. Know where we stand and progress. Each sadhaka has a limit. Everybody cannot do everything. So one has to be careful. Otherwise one should be ready to suffer the consequences. These are not jokes. This is not simply one image has been made of. These are all beings which are from ancient times been worshipped. So the energies have gathered in that form. And they are universal energies, they are not ordinary energies. So one has to be little careful with this. You understand?
I heard from someone, is Kali and Krishna same?
I don't think so. But what they are trying to say is that both have the same color. They say Shyama and Shyam have the same color. Kali is also dark, Shyama is also dark. So, something like that. See, in India, there is always the tendency to unite things, bring them together rather than to break them to pieces. So, some Vaishnavas wanting to be linked to the Shaktas have said both are same. But I don't know why, but it so happens that Kali's Kama Bijakshara is the same as Krishna's Kama Bijakshara, which is clean. I don't know why, but it is so. Clean is used in both sides. Because the Vaishnavas, when they initiate you into Vaishnava teachings, they give a mantra which starts with clean. And Aim Clean so is the Bala Tripura Sundari's mantra, which also has clean.
Clean or clean?
Clean. Kala Im. Clean. Cream is total samhara. Watch out. Sounds have many effects, please. These are not simply what somebody invented. Thanks a lot.